Hello children, today we'll be starting with the second part of chapter number 5 of class 9, the Socialistic Economy. We had discussed capitalistic economy in the previous video. A socialistic economy, unlike a capitalistic economy, is an economic system in which means of production, that means whatever is used for production, land, labor, capital, entrepreneur, factors of production, are owned by the entire society. That means government. The government represents the society and operated by the public authority, government, according to a general economic plan. General economic plan is a plan prepared by the public authority, that is the government, for the benefit of the entire community. That means it's the government who analyzes the demand for the products in the market and produces the goods accordingly. But then it is something different from that of a capitalistic economy, in which a capitalistic economy, the consumer's demands are given full priority. Whatever is demanded is manufactured. Say 5 types of pens are demanded, all those 5 types of pen will be manufactured by the private. But in case of a socialistic economy, the government's duty is to plan out the demand of the community. That means it will find out the demand for pens, but it won't produce 5 varieties of pens because it has to divert its resources towards other activities also. It is the only one manufacturing. So entire whatever resources it has to use for the manufacture of all the goods. Hence, it cannot waste its resources by manufacturing 5 types of pens. People demand pens. Pens will be manufactured. Only one variety or one type of pen will be manufactured. Okay? That is what is decided in the economic plan. We next move on to the features of a socialistic economy. The first feature is social ownership of production resources. That means all the resources are owned by the government, and government is a part of the society. Who forms the government? People of the country forms the government. Hence, we say the production resources are owned by have social ownership. That means owned by the government or by the society. The second one is there is economic planning. Economic planning means it is the government who does the planning regarding what is to be produced and how much to be produced. It first finalizes the demand for goods and accordingly distributes the resources for production of different commodities. Then comes social welfare. The government is involved in manufacturing. In a capitalistic economy, private people are involved in manufacturing and their motive is to earn profit. But here everything is owned by the government. The government's motive is not profit earning. Its motive is social welfare, welfare of the people of the community. Hence, all activities are directed towards social welfare motive of the government. Then, there are economic equalities. That means there is no difference, not much difference in the income of the people. Anybody who works earns. One who works more earns more. One who works less earns less. But there isn't much difference between the income of the people. Then, classless. Now, generally in a capitalistic economy, there is a set of people rich and a set of people poor. This divides the society into 2 groups, high class and low class. Since that difference is missing, economic equalities are prevalent. That means difference in income between rich and poor is very less. Hence, the society is not even divided into classes. No rich high class, no low class. And the last one is there is elimination of competition. Since there is only one production unit, the government, and it sells all the products. Hence, there is no competition from other participants in that same area. We next move on to the difference between capitalistic and socialistic. Here we'll write all the features of the capitalistic economy and here the features of the socialistic economy. It's there in your book. We move on to the mixed economy. which combines both the features of the capitalistic economy and the socialistic economy. In a capitalistic economy, everything is owned by the private. In a socialistic economy, everything is owned by the government. This economy is a combination of capitalistic and socialistic, in which some resources are owned by the private and some are owned by the government. There is a coexistence of private sector and public sector. Private sector is the sector owned by the private. Public sector is the sector owned by the government. Hence, this economy tries to make use of the advantages of both the capitalistic economy and the socialistic economy. Let's have a look at its features. The first one. Is it clear, everybody? Coexistence of public and private sector. Public sector is the sector owned by the government. Private sector is the sector owned by the people of the country. Coexistence of features of capitalistic economy and socialistic economy. In capitalistic economy, the motive is profit. Socialistic economy, the motive is social welfare. Mixed economy, there is a combination. There is promotion of social welfare plus there is profit motive. Okay? In capitalistic economy, planning is done by the private. Socialistic economy, planning is done by the government. Here there is a combination. Okay, let's look at the next feature. Economic planning. This is the planning done by the government, which is followed in a socialistic economy. Private sector, they make their own decisions, but then they are regulated by the government. Because if a private person is given the responsibility of deciding prices, since their motive is profit making, they'll charge very high prices. In a mixed economy, that is not allowed because there's the government sector who will control what prices are being charged by the private sector. Not that they will not be able to earn profit. They are able to earn profit, but there's a limit to the amount of profit they earn because here there's a combination of motive. A profit motive as well as social welfare motive. Hence, the private people's interests are protected by providing them profit. The consumers' interests are also provided by following the motive of social welfare. There's a government who regulates the private sector. Then comes the next one, price mechanism. It is a method of determination of prices. In case of a socialistic economy, the government decides the prices of the commodities, keeping in mind social welfare. So prices are kept low. Capitalistic economy, profit is the motive, but there is competition. If one seller charges 10 rupees and the other one charges 12 rupees, the seller who is charging 12 rupees will not be able to sell his products because his products have become costlier. Okay? Hence, in a capitalistic economy, prices are determined by demand and supply. Okay? That method of price determination is known as price mechanism. In a socialistic economy, the prices are determined by the government. It is known as regulated price. Clear? In mixed economy, we follow the pricing pattern of capitalistic economy in which prices are determined by demand and supply. Okay, last one is preservation of freedom. Consumers are free to buy whatever they want. If the government produces one type of pen, 4 more types of pen are manufactured by the private. Hence, the consumer can decide which type of pen he will buy. Secondly, people of the country are free to decide whether they will set up their own business and become entrepreneurs or they will work under someone and become a laborer. They are free to decide where they will work, in the government companies or in the private companies. There is complete preservation of freedom in a mixed economy. I hope it's clear to you all, children.